the fuck is going on here tonight? Marcus is all in everyone's face and shit.
Didn't you hear? A new shipment came in, some pretty serious hardware.
Yeah, I heard. But what the fuck? We get that kind of shit in here all the time. What's so different about tonight?
I don't know. Marcus is tense as a motherfucker. Maybe he heard something.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, but keep your fucking eyes open. Someone better tell those clowns in the freight house to quit playing cards before Marcus comes out and starts peeling fucking caps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Something going down tonight. He knows something we don't.
I know you best keep your voice down, Holmes. Marcus don't play that shit.
What shit? I'm just asking a question.
That's the shit he don't play.
Look, both of you just shut up and play your fucking cards. Where the hell's Junior?
He's inside, watching the steps. Guess Marcus kind of scared of him, you know?
Shit, I guess Junior's smarter than he looks.
We can even fly?
Why not? Don't they fly in the movies?
Yeah, I guess so.
That punk drug brother. Bullets wouldn't do jack shit. I'd tear their asses up if I was a vampire.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
You'd be stupid not to run with this crew. They said they run whole cities. You understand that? Working with a crew that runs a whole city? You could do anything you want. Kill anyone who gets in your way. Fly all over the place.
But what about blood? They got it.
That's how they do it up here.
That's kind of nasty. It's like a sandwich or something.
How should I know? How good the vampires?
Still nasty. What about sex? Don't tell me I gotta give up it. Got a friend staying at my house and cheat.
Man, how do you expect me to know? Not like it falls off, right?
That's messed up.
Just keep your guy.
going, motherfucker?
warehouse. Your handiwork, I presume? Hopefully no Sabbat saw you escape. They can be somewhat antagonistic. I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you, per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace? A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred, hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. Something to look forward to, eh? Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Nice work, Cupcake. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed-off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight. Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why? No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition. What do you need? Those murders are definitely the work of kindred. Probably some caitiff getting revenge on everyone who made fun of him in high school. Once the sheriff tracks this guy down, they're gonna make one hell of an example of him. Pretty close to the mark. Caitiff are just kind of riffraff vampires who don't know anything about vampire society, don't know their clan, mutt vampires. What I suspect you were perilously close to becoming if LaCroix hadn't intervened. You said it. Theory goes that the farther down the bloodline you are from Cain, the weaker the blood is. So if you're, say, 5th generation, the blood is strong. If you're 15th generation, you barely qualify as a vampire. A thin blood. Long Shadow. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You Malkavians and your damned insight. Most fledglings don't know anything about Gehenna. You don't know the half of it, kid. Gehenna, the day we all die, when our sleeping forefathers rise and bring about the end of the world. Many believe we're living in the final nights. Yep, that's him. Cain, the biblical brother killer, father of all vampires. Like what? Sure, Cupcake. It's war out there, after all. You should know all you can about the different sides. You ask me, the Sabbat makes no sense. They couldn't care less about the Masquerade, and they seem to care even less about themselves. It's like, hey, let's all spread hell on Earth so we can feel big and bad. Oops, I'm dead. Now how did that happen?
Where to? Let's drain it. Let's stake it and leave it out for the sunrise.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Think you could blow up our warehouse and get away with it? Huh, Lick?
Let's pull out its eyes and its tongue and its teeth. I want its teeth.
Camarilla fuck. Boys, I think we could all use a little entertainment. Those of you sitting in the first few rows will get wet. Son of a bitch!
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us. What are you gonna do? Shoot us?
This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with the Sabbat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you. Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines. Same thing that happens to a lot of anarchs, Malk. But you already know that somehow, don't you? Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs. Kid, I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story. This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.
look familiar, Missy. We haven't met before, have we? Oh, yeah, back in Santa Monica, right? Whew, I don't know what came over me back there, but now I got this sweet night shift position, and I'm happier than the time I met Supowitz. Well, enough about my lucky break. You here to see one of the bigwigs, Missy? Would that be Sebastian LaCroix of the LaCroix Foundation, or Dwayne LaCroix of Insurrection Baby Formula Company? Okay then. Mr. LaCroix, he told me to expect someone fitting your description sometime tonight. You go right on up. Yeah, you have a good power meeting, or whatever it is you types do up there. You need any security? Well, you just ring the front desk and ask for Officer Chunk. That's me, in case you were wondering. Yeah, I get that all the time. The name goes back to my football days. Actually, my fantasy football days at the station. Stationarium. That was this office supply outlet mall I used to watch. Hey, you kids! No skating in the parking lot! That was me.
There you are. I was informed of your presence in the building. Since you're here, I'll take the liberty of assuming you've destroyed the warehouse. This is correct, yes? Most excellent. I had no doubt you'd prove my decision a prudent one. I trust you encountered no impediments to your progress on account of my personnel. Yes, I'm sure it was quite an experience. You've done well, circumstances being what they were. I will admit, not many in your position would have overcome such a trial. But don't misunderstand me. It was no fool's errand. You may yet prove to be a genuine asset. It's a bit disturbing, the lack of talent within this organization as of late. Tell me, what would you say to doing a bit of reconnaissance for me? There have been whispers, rumors spreading around the kindred community concerning the Elizabeth Dane, the cargo ship that was towed into port recently. Have you heard of it? The police are investigating the Dane as we speak. Even the Nosferatu have little information on what's been found. However, the reason the ship has caused such speculation is because it was transporting an object called Ankaran's sarcophagus. Predicate a decision based on conjecture. So what I need is fact. And more importantly, I need evidence that the occurrences on the Dane were not supernatural in nature, and in no way relate to this Ankaran sarcophagus. You have 3 objectives. 1. I want you to examine the sarcophagus for anything unusual. You may sense something peculiar about the sarcophagus. In fact, many kings in the city have reported an uneasiness in the air since the Dane's arrival. Do not, under any circumstances, open the Ankaran sarcophagus. Secondly, the police have begun their investigation. Find out what they have concluded thus far. Thirdly, take the cargo manifest for the ship. I want to find out what else it was carrying. The last thing we want is police aware of our existence, so be careful what you do in front of them. And unlike the warehouse, you cannot wholesale slaughter a ship full of lawmen without consequences. Is this understood? Good. Oh, and it has come to my attention that you had an encounter with Nines Rodriguez earlier. The man so does love to throw that cretinous charm of his brashly about. What exactly did Mr. Rodriguez say? I see. Then, you should go humor the by-the-numbers rhetoric he's so desperately aching to spew. Oh, please, before the chance of fascist oppressor from that dive of theirs clog the air and choke the local kine. Give the Anarch community my regards.
maiden reigns. Dry the corpse in the oven with peppers and fur.
Greetings, neonate. Might I assume you received my invitation? I have been looking forward to meeting you for quite some time. Ah, a child of Malkav, no less. Do dark visions cloud your sight, young one? Shattered reflections of your clan father's mind? There is truth in your words, neonate, more than you yet realize. Your madness allows you to glimpse the truth of this existence, to see through the shadowy veil into the world beyond. Be cautious when speaking of these visions. Truth is rarely welcomed by those who cannot see it. There are many kindred who will be less, shall we say, accepting of it than I am. Strauss, Maximilian Strauss. I am the regent of this chantry. Welcome. Let me give you some advice, young one. Your survival in kindred society will often depend on your ability to find out yourself what is going on around you. Remember that well. As for what is going on here in downtown, the word on everyone's lips, kindred or kind, seems to be epidemic. It seems that disease has been spreading at an alarming rate throughout the downtown population. Considering our particular appetites, the local kindred are more than concerned about these developments. Yes, indeed. My opinion is that the local anarchs are responsible for these outbreaks. Their precipitous indulgence of certain passions often leads to such things. Ergo, their need for the watchful eye of the Camarilla. An interesting proposition. If you succeed in finding the cause of this epidemic and putting an end to it, I will compensate you appropriately for your efforts. Very well. Again, I recommend speaking with the anarchs. You can find most of them at the local watering hole, reveling in the vices of their former lives. I believe the place is called The Last Round. What is it you would like to know?
Stop doing that, Mother.